Hey everybody, welcome to another day in the week. I'm really excited to have you here and I hope you're enjoying the show. I hope you enjoyed this weekend's video. It was a blast being out of town this weekend. I had so much fun. Despite the haunted house situation, which if you watch that, you will enjoy it, you will laugh, you'll cry like I did, and you will enjoy every minute of it, I'm sure. It was a hoot for sure. I loved it. Hope you did too. It was a lot of fun. But this weekend I'm staying home, which is kind of a change of pace, and I'm really excited about being able to stay home actually, because I have been on the move so much frequently that I am just exhausted and ready for a weekend at home to do nothing. So that's kind of exciting. So today, just like the title says, I'm going to do the Disney tag. I had actually been watching, catching up on some of my friend Maggie's videos. I'll put a link in the description below for her YouTube channel and her Disney tag video. So I took her idea and I'm running with it. And I don't know if she cares if I stole it or not, but I'm stealing it. So I'm going to do a Disney tag challenge. This is just going over some of your Disneyland or Disney World things. And answering a few questions. So without further hesitation or delay, let's jump in. Question number 1. What is your favorite Disney movie? This one to me is always an extremely hard question to answer when somebody asks me. My first response is, do you mean animated or do you mean live action? Because to me there's a difference between the two and a huge difference between them personally. Animated films are on a different caliber than the live action films and vice versa, so I really have a difficult time narrowing it down to one specific film. So I will just give you my top few films for each category. So for animated films is definitely Tangled or The Princess and the Frog. I absolutely love those two movies. I think they're great classic Disney films. They have great story, great heart. And they just have a good excitement bit of adventure to them as well. Princess and the Frog being the most recent hand-drawn animation. Hands down, I loved it. I absolutely loved that movie. Don't get me wrong, I like the classics. You know, I like the old films like Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin and Snow White and Cinderella. But those would be my two really predominant favorites. Because I really love the characters in it. As far as like live action films, this will be difficult as well. Live action, my number one favorites are kind of difficult because again, it depends on my day of the week. But I absolutely love The Princess Diaries, both 1 and 2, 1 more so than 2. That's a movie I've seen so many times I can quote while it's playing. I can even hear the music for it in the background and tell you what's taking place on the movie at that particular time. Same with Hocus Pocus. Hocus Pocus is right there with it as well. I can hear the music and tell you exactly what's going, and typically I can quote the lines as they're coming out of their mouths. The other ones are Haunted Mansion. A lot of people hated the Haunted Mansion movie. I loved it. I thought it was the right amount of scary, right amount of comedy to kind of tie in real well. And a kind of honorable mention is The Sorcerer's Apprentice. I've seen that movie 1,000 times, as well as Enchanted. I've seen Enchanted, oh gosh, so many times. It's almost getting to the point where I can memorize it as well. I like that movie though. It's so cute. It's so romantic. Why wouldn't I? So the next question on the list is Disneyland or Disney World. As you guys know, if you've been watching for a while, I plan on going to Disneyland in the near couple of months. So I'm not real sure how I feel about Disneyland just yet. But I will tell you, as of right now, based upon what I know of Disneyland, Disney World will win hands down. Disney World is my home Disney park because it's the closest Disney park to me. I typically go to Disney World once or twice a year. And this year I'll be going to Disneyland versus a trip to Disney World. Maybe. And so based off of the information I know about Disneyland and Disney World, I would choose Disney World. Disney World to me is so much bigger. It's so much more immersive. There's so many more stories that are being told. Whereas Disneyland, it is classic, and it does have the history of where Walt was, where Walt has walked, what all is going on. But I really, really, really feel, even after visiting Disneyland, that Disney World will still surpass it. As far as the other parks, I haven't been to those yet, but they are on my bucket list because I would love to go to Shanghai, Disneyland, and Tokyo, and I would even love to go to Disneyland Paris. So those are all on my list. One day I will make it to them. But as of right now, Disneyland or Disney World, I'm going to say Disney World just because I know that Disney World is what it is. But I may change that after we get back from that trip to Disneyland. The next question on the list is, what Disney do you collect? Well, look around behind me. What don't I collect that is Disney? I mean, if you literally look behind me, everything is Disney. I don't think there is anything not Disney on any of this frame, minus the salt lamp. The salt lamp is definitely not a Disney item. I mean, I guess they sell them at Disney somewhere, probably, but everything else is literally from Disney or in relation to Disney. Just to give you an idea, Mickey Mouse, it's like a sun thing that wiggles his little flower in his plant. A Mickey lamp, Stormtrooper, which is technically now Disney. Mickey ears, that is a Mickey pen and tape dispenser. These are Disney pins. Then on this side you have Madame Leota. I'm looking at the camera, not the lens. That's Madame Leota. So that is a Disney character from the Haunted Mansion. Haunted Mansion. That is a Haunted Mansion candle. And then that is the Tower of Terror hat. So everything behind me is Disney related in some shape, form, or fashion. So one would say I collect just Disney in general. My biggest Disney collection, of course, is pins. Pins are my huge Disney collection. That's probably the biggest collection of Disney merch that I have, because I have all of the framed Disney pins. I have all these pins here, and then I have boxes of pins that have not even been sorted yet. That's how many I have. I have a lot of pins. I don't have as much as I want, mind you, and I always want more, but I have Disney pins. Just to give you an idea, I have shown this 100 times, and it's still on my desk, and I want to do an opening for it, and I haven't done it yet. I still have a mystery pack that I have yet to open of Disney pins. That's how many Disney pins I have, because I get so caught up in them that it gets ridiculous. But if you've seen my tour of the office, my home office, then you know everything in here is Disney. This whole wall is Disney. That wall is Disney. There's shelves up here that are Disney. There's shelves above my head that are Disney that you can't see. So if you want to see all of the Disney room and tour, I'll put a link somewhere here so that you can go back and see that. So yes, but pins are definitely my biggest Disney collection by far. Definitely pins is the biggest. But Disney in general, or Disney, I don't know what the word I'm looking for. I can't speak words. Disney in general, but specifically Disney merch, authentic Disney things I typically jump to. But pins, that's probably number one. Next up question is your favorite Disney ride. I don't really know if I can tell you what that is. Had to get a drink of coffee in this really nice mug. I don't know if you noticed it. Let me take a... Yeah. I'm pretty sure that gave it away, but Haunted Mansion is definitely my #1 ride for Disney. I absolutely love Haunted Mansion. I love the story. I love the ghosts. I love the theming. I like how it's scary, but it's not scary. I love how I just hit the desk and shook you all up, kind of up. I really do love Haunted Mansion. Absolutely love it. I love everything about it. It's definitely my #1 ride out of all 4 parks at Disney World. And I've watched videos from the other Disney parks, and a lot of the other parks have Haunted Mansion variations. They all look amazing, and I want to ride them all. So, Haunted Mansion is #1. If I was to pick a #2, it would be a little bit different. #2 would probably be something like Spaceship Earth at Epcot. or Soarin' at Epcot or at California Adventure. Those are two of my absolute favorites. I could ride Spaceship Earth all day long and probably never get bored and just enjoy every bit of it. But definitely my Haunted Mansion mug, my Haunted Mansion poster, my Madame Leota ears, Haunted Mansion candle. I have Haunted Mansion pins. I have Haunted Mansion, pretty much everything you can imagine. And that's definitely my #1 favorite attraction at Disney parks. The next question is your favorite Disney snack. What is your favorite Disney snack? Now, when I think of Disney snacks, I think of anything that you would get as a snack credit on the meal plan. But really anything can be a Disney snack, other than like a full-on meal is the way I kind of picture it. So with a favorite Disney snack, I'm going to say my favorite one is a Dole Whip. By far, hands down, I could eat Dole Whip all day. With or without rum, all day. I could just sit there and eat Dole Whip all day. It is so freaking good. I usually, on average, will have 2 Dole Whips per trip, if not more, because they are just amazing, and it's really hard to recreate it or get it outside of Disney. You can get it a few places outside of Disney, but really Disney is where it's best. And so yeah, I usually get Dole Whip every single trip. Other than that, there's not really a lot of big snacks that I would say that I would go for or go to. The churros are really good, and I'm really excited to try churros at Disneyland because I hear they're much better at Disneyland than at Disney World. So I'm really looking forward to that because I like churros, and Disney Worlds were pretty good, but I feel like Disneyland's going to have that market cornered when it comes to snacks, and I cannot wait to put one of those in my mouth. I also like the popcorn. Popcorn, when you get it at Disney, for some reason, I guess it's just because you're in the environment you're in, it's so good. It's so good. And I'm not a popcorn eater, so there's that to go into it as well. But yeah, that would definitely be my #1 Disney snack to go to is Dole Whip. I just had a brain Dole Whip, #1. You can definitely, and I can tell you where to get Dole Whip. That's how bad it is. But typically, I pick it up at the Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, or Polynesian, because I love to go to the Polynesian. Polynesian is phenomenal to look at, and I would love to stay there one day. Bucket list. Next one on the list is your favorite pair of Mickey ears. Do you have a favorite pair? I have a lot of Mickey ears, to be honest. I have 3 different regular standard ears, which are, there's a pair over here which you can't see, it's off camera, but there is a pair of standard ears there. I have these Leota ears. I have the Sorcerer Mickey ears here on a band. I have actual Sorcerer Mickey hat with ears. I have a lot of ears. I have a lot of ears. I can't say that I have one particular pair that's my absolute favorite, because they all have a different meaning, because they all came at a different time, a different place. I even have, they're under my desk right now. Let me see if I can get them. Yep, those are easy to get to. I even have the glow with the show ears. I don't think the glow in them works anymore. I haven't changed out the battery in a hot minute, so. Oh, look, they do work. I haven't tried. Yeah, this is a good look, just so we know. But I haven't wore the glow with the show ears in a while. I bought these a few years ago on a trip and wore them for like one night, and I haven't worn them other than at home since. And this is the old glow with the show ears, so they don't work with the app or anything like that. You had to buy the wand, or there was something else that you could buy that you could change it, change the colors and everything. But these are pretty awesome just because they light up, and I quite like those because of that fact. I thought it was cool that they flashed with the show, and that's why I wanted them. I thought they were cool. But as far as the special pair, not really. They're all about the same. They are all special in their own little way, and they all have a memory attached to them. I don't have any that are embroidered, other than one pair. It's in my car, and it actually says, I think it's like best friend, and a friend of mine gave them to me for my birthday, so those are the only ones I have embroidered. The rest of them just are plain, ordinary hats. And I guess technically this, even though it doesn't have ears, the Haunted Mansion, The Tower of Terror hat technically falls under ears as well. And I bought those the first time I ever rode Tower of Terror. These, of course, I love because they're Haunted Mansion. These right here actually came from the character Warehouse. So I have a lot of ears. I have ears coming out of my ears. And they all have a special place in some facet or another. The next question on the list is, are you the only family member that is obsessed with Disney? So yes and no. I would say I'm the most obsessed with Disney, by far. Out of everybody I know, actually, I think. Because of the fact that my niece did work at Disney, so she does know quite a bit of Disney trivia, but I don't think she's quite as obsessed with Disney as I am. I'm very deeply obsessed with Disney. I'm like a stalker fan obsessed kind of thing. It's bad. I love Disney. I love their merch. I love their story. I love the stuff. I know the history and the backstory and the details of all of it. And so really, there are other people that like Disney, but I would not say there are any other people in my family that are as obsessed with Disney as I am. I don't think any of them have a room dedicated to Disney. I mean, that's just the long and short of it. I don't think anybody has a desk that they made themselves themed after the Jungle Cruise. That's just me. I think that's all me. I think nobody else cares enough to go through that process. But that's just me. The final question on this 10-question list, I can't believe we've already made it to the 10th one, is my most treasured Disney item. And when you look around this room, you think, oh my gosh, you've got so many treasured things. You've got so many. I feel like Ariel. I have just like a cave of wonder treasures that I keep. Really and honestly, when I look around, and I'm looking around right now, as I'm sure you can tell, because I'm looking at all this stuff, there are a lot of bits and pieces in here that are truly treasured pieces. I have an orange hat on the top of my shelf up here, which is from Halloween this last year, when we dressed up as Dreamfinder and Figment. I've got my magic bands. I've got a cup that my mom gave me. I've got comic books and pins, and I've got all these items over here on the top shelves that you can't see that are all things that I've picked up that are all associated with Disney and trips to Disney and things like that. Honestly, my most treasured Disney item is not a physical, obtainable item. It's here. That, to me, my memories are the most treasured Disney thing that I could possibly own. All the physical attributes, all the things in this room, if they were to disappear today, I would still have in my heart and my mind the amazing fun times that I've had at Disney. You know, growing up, I went to Disney. My mom swears we went twice, but we only really went once. But I'll let her have twice. We went once, and I still remember all of the things that we did. And I remember the funny parts, and I remember the parts where it wasn't so good. And, you know, I remember all the details from all my trips that I've gone to Disney. And honestly, that is my biggest treasured item, is my memories that I've made with my family and friends going to Disney. I mean, really and honestly, that is truly it. Not necessarily even going to Disney. It could just be talking about Disney or discussing Disney or creating a moment around something that you're truly passionate about. And trust me, I don't get passionate about much. Disney is one of those things I get totally compassionate about. And 100%, that is my favorite, most awesome, treasured Disney item, is the memories that I've made at Disney, or about Disney, or with involving Disney in some fashion. So, yeah. So there you have it, guys. There is the Disney tag. 10 beautiful questions that will challenge you a little bit on your Disney information and things like that. Again, I'm a wealth of Disney knowledge. I absolutely love Disney in pretty much every facet, except Marvel. I'm not a big Marvel person. But that doesn't mean you can't like Marvel and Disney and together. I personally don't. That's because I don't really get into it. But I accept it into the fold. I accept it into the family now. Even though I'm not a big fan of Guardians of the Galaxy showing up at Epcot. All in all, that is my 10 question Disney tag. Again, make sure you check out Maggie's version in the description below. You'll enjoy that as well. It has been a pleasure spending some time with you guys today and kind of giving you a little bit of myself. I'm sure if you go back through, you'll see tons more of Disney videos throughout the ages. But yes, it was a lot of fun answering some of these questions, and I could probably answer a ton more Disney questions. So if you have any more Disney questions you want to ask me, drop them in the comments down below. Make sure you give this video one of these. I was trying to make it look like the little image. It didn't really work. My thumb don't turn up quite. Doesn't turn up quite like that. Also, that's really weird. I'm double jointed in my thumbs, so they do weird things. It's kind of gross, I know, right? Anyway, I am going to go ahead and end this day. And I know it was different than what I normally do, but this is kind of what I'm kind of moving into, is I'm moving into more of a content base versus a vlog to kind of get myself ready for the end of this vlog year, and see if I want to continue doing daily vlogs or content or both. And I will probably, just to give you guys an early heads up, I will probably take about a 2-week vacation away from vlogging or videoing while I'm on my trip. So you can expect there to be videos from that trip, and I just spit all over my laptop, by the way. You can expect there to be videos from the trip for sure, but more than likely I will not upload them until I get back home, because I do want to enjoy vacation. So I guess this day is done, and nothing left to say, but I'll see you on the other side. Till tomorrow.